Hello and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 3 and Black Ice version 12 and a UK campaign. As promised, we are going to do a UK campaign, and I've got to say, version 12 so far, from the brief parts of it that I've played, I'm very happy with some of the changes and things. So I'm going to talk you through some of these changes as we kind of start up the game. And we are going to take our time a little bit with the opening of things. So just going to get a couple of these out the way first. So our basic introductory decisions. We've got a load of leadership that we need to kind of organise. And we're going to start with some of the very basic industrial techs. And we are going to try some different strategies on this UK campaign. We are going to be fairly consistent, but there are some different things, some different options that I'd like to give a go to. And I won't worry about rocket tests at the moment. We can ignore that for now. Let's get some of these ones going on our infantry tech. That's to a nice round 26. And then for carriers, there's a whole series of different carrier techs that I would quite like to just get organised. Perfect. Then we're going to put a little bit into our spies to start that ticking on up. And then, oh, pardon me. I think we can just about leave it there at that point. So we can do kind of the main decision first, and I think we should probably start with that. So we are going to do normal. I did debate doing hard, but I just can't see the point, really. I would rather, you know, not get a bunch of stupid debuffs. But if we do normal, we just get the kind of standard experience, and I'm okay with that. But for the AI and things, let's just have a little look through things. So the Chinese, I'm actually going to put on the max level. And I'm going to put Japan on very hard, Italy on very hard, Germany on very hard. The Allies I'm going to put on... yeah, let's put them on very hard. Soviets very hard. And then we'll put Axis miners very hard. The Allies we'll put on very hard. And then the kind of other miners we'll put on very hard as well. So we've now sorted out that, and that's going to give us kind of all of the different decisions now to have a quick look at. So we've got some puppets industrial focuses. Let's start with the military academy. And just say that we've got that. Transport. Yeah, the trucks. All good things. If you want to read these events, you can always download the mod, remember? We have played it enough times now to where I probably don't need to read you all of the events. Send help to Abyssinia. Let's send some troops for Abyssinia. And for the Bank of International Settlements, let's do the industry investment, because we're going to get a little bit more money and things out of that. And then we're going to be able to use that money to do a few different things at the start here. So we've got some different techs for like seaports, airports and the like. Let's get you going to the next level. And then let's have a look at our political situation. So the first thing we're going to do that's a little bit left of field is right now, under strategic effects, we have a situation where for our puppet master effects, we are a regional puppet master. So we have three vassals. Now, what we're going to have instead is we're going to want to move up towards being a puppet master, because pretty much a lot of these effects have a kind of tangible benefit. And we want to do that in such a way that we're not losing any industrial capacity. Now, to that end, there are 3 nations that we're going to release. We are going to release Georgetown, which is over here and a little bit far away. We are going to release Georgetown, Kuwait, and finally Palestine. Now, that's not a political statement, by the way. That's just... they don't have any IC attached to them. So, therefore, we're going to release them. So, before I do anything else, let's go to create a puppet, and let's release Guyana. Let's release Kuwait. And finally, let's release Palestine. And we now have ourselves a new a new breakdown of different nations, and we haven't lost any industrial capacity as a result. So we won't see any kind of negative debuffs as a result of that. But we did lose a little bit of oil, but that's fine, and we lost a little bit of land, but it was a particularly useful land. And finally, we've got a couple of different things to do. So now we can look at our industrial focuses. So Oman, now I don't think Oman has any real resources. No. So in which case we'll get them to concentrate on the army. And Bhutan, do you have anything of any consequence? Nope, so we'll get you to concentrate on the army as well. And yeah, another puppet there. So Nepal, we'll get you to concentrate on the army. Palestine will get you to concentrate on the army. Now, their build-up's going to be interesting. I'm not sure how it works when you have no IC. Kuwait will get them to focus on oil. Let's get them to build up that. And then, finally, we have Guyana, and we'll just get them to concentrate on the army. We might get them to do metals next time round, but we'll see. Now, annual espionage focus. We're going to reduce our neutrality. And for economic boost, we're actually going to do the long-term investment at the moment. And I would imagine that that's going to spawn us a couple of things in a minute, but we'll have to see money-wise where that leads us. Because what we want is we want to go for mining. So we need 2,000 money for that. So we'll need to build up that in the short term. So mixed support brigade start. Let's do that one. And yeah, let's start with our mixed brigades here. So we're going to go infantry tank. We're going to go amphibious armor. We will go for recon. And we'll go for anti-tank, I think, this time round. And then for our motorized brigades, we will go for recon, engineers, light armor, and anti-tank. Because we're going to be fighting a lot of Germans. And now we can do our leader backstory to kind of finish things off on this front. So I'm going to do my usual spread, but with a couple of adjustments. So, sounds good. We are going to be a political negotiator, because the others kind of, well, they don't suck, but this one's the best one. Now, I don't think any of these I'm that interested in. I mean, the left home when you were young for the 1.5 could be good, but I always like kind of the leadership one. Let's get the leadership one for that. Now, child apprentice in a factory, I think, is the direction that I'm going for this. Because I just think that's a pretty useful, just little bonus there on our resources. We're going to say that we are a wealthy and independent businessman. And finally, let's give ourselves a little bit of being a sailor. And that is going to have an immediate benefit there to the point where we can do our full production queue. And we're going to move the carrier to the bottom because if something isn't going to finish, we want that to probably be towards the bottom. And a new day is indeed dawning. Let's get ready to rumble. Got a little unit identifier here. Chuck it in the home counties for now. We're going to put on our own spies priority. Make it so that we're raising our own unity. And then we're going to have a look at our government setup. So, George V is a stern imperialist. He gives us a 5% IC and a 10% on resources, which is really good. This is a good person to have. Now, Stanley Baldwin, the ruling party support is nice, but I don't like the -5 leadership. And we can go for Ramsay MacDonald here, who is going to give us a -5 on the dissent change, which I think is probably worthwhile. So we're going to go for him. Now, we don't really have a good alternative to Anthony Eden, so he can stay in place for the Minister of Foreign Affairs. Neville Chamberlain is quite good for now. I don't like the -10 on resources. But if we look around, a 90% money impact with the consumer goods decrease, probably worthwhile. And he offsets the George V negative impact. We've then got John Simon down here, who, again, probably is the best choice at the moment. because of the 10% leadership, or sorry, ruling party support. So he's quite useful. Artillery practical decay. Now, we're actually going to go for the electronic specialist, and that's going to become important in a moment. You're going to notice that the UI and things is all differently laid out, and to be honest with you, it's much more useful laid out like this. I'm going to go for Lord John Gort, and that's because of the mobile practical decay. Going to go for the supply consumption from Cyril Deverell. Keep the capital aspect, and I think we're happy to keep Owen Boyd in place because of the light aircraft aspect. So that's our leaders, so our politics, our espionage, all handled. Got our technology organised. And finally, we're going on to our selling of different resources. And I think we're going to start with selling as much supply, etc. as we can. So Japan, don't really have any relations with them at the moment. They're willing to buy a fair amount of supplies. So let's do a deal with them. United States. Yeah, they're interested in a fun supply deal as well. So let's give that away. So 30 a day, that's fine. La France. Yeah, we'll do a nice round 50. We've got a pretty decent relation with them, so that's good. Germany, we're at 0. Let's try and just, do a little trade with them, just to maybe build up a little bit of relationship. Although it's going to fall away quite quickly. And I think we can call it a day there. What we'll do is we'll actually put this into here for when things reset. And then we'll be nice and neatly organised. Okay, so we've got a full production queue going. We've got a little bit onto leadership. Our manpower position is fine. I think we're pretty much ready to go. I guess the last thing we could do with doing is we could just do with picking up all of our planes that are not in the home islands. Because there is a fair amount of them. And we could just reroute them towards Reading and Aldershot. In fact, yeah, that's fine. And then the same thing for our ships. So we've got a lot of ships all over the world. We need to have a relatively good reorganization of our navy position. And let's bring them all home as well. Lovely. And now we can put time forwards. So we'll go on speed 4 just for the start here. We've got an accepted agreement across the board with a bunch of our allies. Up to 60 on the old money. And we're going to have a quick look at our laws now. So you're willing to want to buy a light cruiser. That's fine with me. Put a little bit more into our supply position for a moment. Just to get that building. And then let's have a quick look at our laws. So, 6-month draft. And the other thing that we're going to do that's a little bit different is we're going to go over to basic training. Because we're going to get a little bit of a money benefit out of that. And for the first time ever, we're going to go down to average education investment. And the reason for that is that this is a decent amount of leadership and things. But it's a pretty big money debuff. And it's an IC debuff, whereas this is going to give us a 5% IC movement. And with no negative variances. So we're going to go for that. We're going to go for cemented armor and closed hangar. We're going to go for... Oh, got to remember what we're going to go for here. So gasoline. And we have casting. So heavy aircraft, gasoline, cast armor. Yeah, we're going to go for that. And we'll load up the general economy because I would imagine that that might be the way to go. Yeah, let's do the general economy for now because we're going to get a few little benefits out of that. that's had a little bit more of a positive impact. So we've got some laws apparently, but it's okay. Japan decided to annex Manchuria. That's interesting. Okay. So we've got London Naval Treaty. We've got an excellent opportunity here. I think, let's just keep them in their current units for now. We don't need any veteran HQs at the moment. We're going to go for the possibility of getting a 15% money boost, because I don't think any of those other than that are particularly useful. Scripted invasions. Yes. London Naval Treaty. Let's do the easy... Okay, so normal means... I mean, I'm just happy to play on easy. I don't care about the strat resource experience. Like, you know, I'm only interested in getting the bonuses if they come up, but it's fine. But what we have seen happen is we did lose the high one there, but we now have the Puppet Master effect that's giving us a little bit more in our resources and things, which is really positive, and it's giving us a tiny bit of a leadership benefit. So we can't complain, really. That's not too shabby. And with an extra 2 in that, we can consider... So we're doing all of these infantry techs. Let's give a go. Let's get these up to speed, because they're a bit behind. We've got a huge amount of resource there, and we can do a little bit into upgrades. But I think before that, let's have a little look at our industrial capacity position. So Birmingham is full. Sheffield. So we need to build up Sheffield. We need to build up Liverpool. And we need to build up Middlesbrough, which no one, let me tell you, in British politics has ever said about that. And finally Newcastle. So we need to build up all the ones where we've got heavy industry, effectively. So that's 4 provinces. Well, that's the case. By the looks of it. Yeah, 4 provinces. Well, that's the case where we need to do that. So what we'll do is we'll take a little bit out of upgrades to achieve that. And we'll plonk these at the top. They'll be done in August 23. Well, the first row of them. So Liverpool will be done by August 23. Sheffield, Newcastle a bit longer. Middlesbrough looks like it will take a slightly longer period. And we can put time forwards again a little bit. So we've got a pretty decent starting point here. We're going to want to start building some resource buildings relatively quickly as well. And there's the reoccupation of the Rhineland event already, which is interesting. So they got a unit in there quite quickly. I don't want to give away metal, to be honest with you. I'd rather build up that. I don't mind giving away rares. That's the one that I would be okay with. And we've got good show. So we're going to lose a little bit of metal and supplies and a little bit of manpower. I'm okay with that for now. And we are going to get back to 100% on the officer ratio pretty much immediately, which is what I want to see. Don't want to give away energy. And yes, we will do our worst. Thank you very much. We want to build up that money quickly. So ideally, by the 20th, we should have what we need money-wise to start things up. And, aha, look at that. That's a very nice mix of different events kicking into gear. Not giving away money, please. France. No, no, no. And yeah, we've not lost any manpower of any kind or any IC. So off-map IC plus 15. Metal, no. This is a very nice little organisation we've got going on here. Now the reason we've got an electronics minister in is because we've still got the facility to do mechanical computing machine at the moment. Now, in fact, we could probably... Do we want him at the moment? He kind of feels like the best out of a bad lot at the moment. I kind of want the destroyer guy. Because destroyer tech is something that's going to be really important to us. We want to have really good destroyers as soon as we can. Now, diplomacy-wise, I wonder if there's anyone lacking anything. So Japan is lacking rares. So is Sweden. We could try... Yeah, they want to buy. Okay, yeah, we'll do that. And there's a lack of rares there. Can do one with nationalist China. Thank you. Yeah, they want to buy, yep, 17. So we get 22 money out of that. That's good. Romania, 15. Sure. Let's try and make as much money out of these guys as we can. And Australia. Yeah, we've got a little bit of a deficit. We're going to be the resource center of the world. Perfect. So we're going to be giving away a little bit on rares. I don't need to do that. We've just done a trade with you guys. Perfect. And that's taken us to nearly 200. Not bad at all. So just half the amount of time it'll take us to get the money that we need. Losing a little bit on supply, but not too much. A little bit of economy management. Nothing wrong with that. Always good fun. But I'm recording this just before the bank holiday. So this first video will be going live on the bank holiday. So aiming to have things done pretty pronto-ish. And the first of our destroyers coming online. Good. Going to free up a little bit of resource. This is what we like. Okay, I'm very happy with all of this. Give me all the resource in the world. Because then we can start thinking about what we need to build up. So, we're lacking a little bit on energy. I'd say our rares position is pretty alright, to be honest with you. I won't worry about that just yet. So we've got 32 IC to play with. If I was to go along to this tab... and have a very quick peruse of our resource position. Yep, I knew it was somewhere. So Edinburgh's got 30, 29, Liverpool, Sheffield, Newcastle. So all of our energy producers are all in the UK. That's where our major coal fields are. So let's do the top three. So let's start with Edinburgh. So Edinburgh has a pretty large coal field. We've then got Cardiff, which also has a pretty large coal field. And then finally we've got Liverpool. And yeah, let's build up those. Okay, perfect. And then next up after that, Middlesbrough, Vijayawada and Kolpa. Well, I would imagine that revolt risk is going to play a part in this. God, that doesn't make for enjoyable reading, does it? So, how much are you making? Okay, so if we look at somewhere like, is it Sheffield? So Middlesbrough does 18. Okay, yeah, let's build up Middlesbrough steel refineries because we only need 2 for that. Sheffield, you've got a level 4 steel refinery. What were the other places? Vijayawada. Okay, I have no idea where Vijayawada is. I do apologise, guys, if you do know where Vijayawada is. I have no idea. Ah, here. Okay, so you're contributing 15 at the moment. 15.4. Okay. Based on a level 1. Whereas, like, Sheffield is contributing 20.6 based on a level 4. So, it would make more sense to do that one over in India. So, let's upgrade you. And then we've got, is it coal par? Now, I'm pretty sure cauliflower. It's not cauliflower. No, it's colpor. That's it. Coapor. And you're contributing 15.4. So yeah, let's do a steel refinery there with you and build this up quite nicely. Okay. And yeah, let's leave that at the bottom. We'll leave the steel mines at the bottom and we'll let these carry forwards. I think that's fine. So yeah, nice round 200 pretty much. So we'll give it another 2 days. Because we want to try and build up our money a little bit. Before we do anything else. Let's get it to like the end of the month and then we can call it a day there. So yeah, steel and energy are the ones that we're lacking the most of. And I want about 500 money before I make a judgment call. So we can postpone this one. Oh, little sneeze there. And yeah, let's postpone both of those for now. And then we're going to get mining going. Okay, so mining, and the reason we want to get mining, just as a heads up, is mining. So these are the different events. So we get national manpower plus 15, not interested. National highways, 1% IC efficiency is good, and supply throughput of 5% is also good. The 2% and the 10 for supply throughput is great for Railroad Tycoon. The one I'm most interested in, though, is mining from the outset. So 10% negative on IC and manpower, but 10% crude, 15% energy, 15% metal, 15% rares, and 3.5 on IC efficiency. That is a sizable benefit. So we're going to go for this. So we're going to lose 25,000 on supply, 2,000 money, and 5,000 metal. So not an insignificant decrease. But the benefits are going to be worth it, as we will see in a minute, because we're going to wipe out effectively the decrease from the prefab facilities. So we've got that negatives, and that is a shame, but we're now wiping out the negative malices we had, and we're getting some extra bonuses on our growth potential, which is really good. So I'm really happy with that. Got a little bit of dissent here. So we can just use the lovely red box to get rid of that. So yeah, we will do that now. So British icon. Going to gain a little bit of text and things, which is nice, and a little bit of national unity. So never something to sniff at. And this is all by the 15th. So give them 56. No, not interested. Thank you for the offer, though. Okay, we've got a surge of volunteers. A little change in neutrality negative. Happy days. Take that. Any bonuses like that are always welcome. And the IC efficiency has now kicked into the production queue. So, I'm not expecting things to finish kind of immediately, but we're going to have some stuff due out pretty soon. So, let's go on speed 5 for a minute. And, yeah, did get a little tiny thing there. I'm going to split off the cavalry, because the cavalry are quicker than other units, and they can handle this. And yeah, we'll do a little trade with Abyssinia. Let's help them out. They've got a lot of units actually down there, so it's 1 month in, they've not lost any territory, so that's always good to see. Okay, and I'm liking a full production queue. Always positive. Okay. We've lost... Oh, bloody hell, that's a journey and a half for a unit. Oh, bloody fuck. That's rubbish. And it was an energy producer. What a shitty place to get an uprising. Ah well. We will make it work. We will send a unit to go and fix it. Okay. We are just maximizing our production potential. I am going to put a little bit of a net gain into our supplies, just because I like a nice round 100. It's only the Arc Royal that we're going to take away a little bit on, and that's going to be okay because we're going to have a submarine finish, and then we'll be all hunky-dory. Res, I don't want to give away energy. I want to build up that stockpile if I can, while the going is good. And bye-bye King George V. It was nice while it lasted. So, a little bit sad about that, because he is better than Edward VII, or 8th. Edward VIII is not good. He's not one of my my favourite ones, but he is better in some respects than his brother. So, but not in actual, you know, history. History-wise, not better. Energy for money, so that's going to take us a tiny bit negative on the old IC position, but that's okay. And we've got a destroyer that's just arrived. So, basic training. Got some of our surplus stuff coming through. Bit disappointed by the fall away of a few things, but it's fine. Got some destroyers and stuff that are going to be finishing up pretty pronto-ish. We can, yeah, just make sure really that, you know, I'm happy to have the aircraft carrier just take like a tiny bit longer out of everything. You know, if I had to put priority on things, it would probably be like that in the order at the moment, just because these destroyers are going to be done soon. So yes, we do want to do that. We do want to do this. We want to do the amphibious armor, recon, and the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to do the police buildings, because we're going to gain a little bit of revolt risk, lose some money, but we're going to lose the consumer goods during peacetime, which is going to help us a lot. And we're up to 8% IC efficiency, which is also really good. And we're going to get those police buildings. So we want anti-tank in there, and we're going to go tank destroyer focus for our motorized brigades. And then that's just got our production back on track. So our budget limitations are coming up. So yeah, engineers, and yeah, I don't need to do that because what I have is enough, because mixed support. Yeah, because at the moment we're just wanting to go wait for the tank destroyers to become available. Infantry tank upgrade. Okay, chaplain, I'm not bothered about. So, we're going to go high for the additional budget for now, because we've built up a decent money surplus. 30% isn't that much at the moment. Let's just start getting some benefits out of that. Doesn't have to be a lot, you know, it just has to be a little bit. Okay, we've had an uprising in Karachi, because of course we have. Getting uprising wherever we've, you know, not got units. As is always the way with shitty uprisings. They always happen where you don't have divisions. Okay, and we're funding a little bit more into supplies, just to start that building up quite neatly. And yeah, we'll trade some rares. Let's make some money. And yeah, we're starting to see a decrease on our energy position. So we're going to do some trading with the Soviets. That'll take us back positive. Good. And yeah, I don't want to trade metal or anything. Absolutely fine with that. Let's keep the money situation growing. So we're up 76 a day there. And yeah, we can trade a little bit of crude. And yeah, we are turning into a financial powerhouse. So that might take us, yeah, that's not bad. Yep, 7 there. Okay, a nice simple growth factor. Yeah, a little bit more crude for money. I will do all of that. I'd like to be over... There we go. So we got the first of our research progress. So nothing wrong with that. So we've got tank destroyers there and motorized engineers. Sure. That's perfect. And there we go. Hostile. Good name for a destroyer, actually. I always thought British destroyer names were quite fun. Okay, hero. Sure. Hunter. Okay, metal. And yeah, don't need to exchange any resource things at the moment. We have just gone negative again. Is there anyone else that we could trade for? Yeah, we could do another trade with the Soviet Union. So we will. Let's keep that nicely ticking on up. Okay, and we're now doing a full production queue. A little bit more crude sold away. And yeah, we'll keep doing that. If you're going to keep supplying it, happy days. Right, we could lose... I don't want a debuff to our leadership. So I will happily do that. Only for now, just to wait on an event to maybe try and get rid of a bit more of that a little bit more quickly. Could funnel the reinforcement into it. It's dropping by 3 a day. It's not a lot. Okay, how much? So like 15 out of that would... Okay, that does the job. Okay, Churchill's upset. We'll gain a unity. Got some more destroyers that have just finished up. Okay, this feels very neatly organized. Okay, and our basic education enhancement have just finished. And it does look like actually we've lost a little bit of leadership. It's probably the high manpower thing, but I was busy looking at other things, alright? Don't blame me, it's not my fault. Get distracted, I'm like a magpie. You show me pretty numbers and I'm like, oh baby. I like those numbers when they turn green. Okay. Let's do this. And yeah, a little bit more out of there. And I do have some espionage targets in mind, to be honest with you. But we will start looking at those in a little bit. We don't need to think about them right this minute. Another little bit on rares, sure. Takes us over 200 money. Well happy with that. I want to build up a really good money reserve. Decent steel reserve. By not trading any away. And yeah, if everyone wants to buy rares, I will not say no. Right, who is best placed? Right, we're going to send a cav unit down. And we'll also send you across. And then whoever gets to it first will win my affection. Nope. Don't want to give away metal. Okay, yeah. It's just balancing things out. Okay. Apparently we love Stalin. I'm not sure historically if that was the case. And there we go. We can lose a bit of dissent there with that. That's going to free up some of our resource there. Can put a little bit more into supplies as a result. I would like that to be closer towards kind of 80k. No, no. Yeah, okay. Warrington. Very naughty. No, no, no. Okay, so there's our economic focus kicking into gear. And that's enough for us to have a quick look at our... We're doing a full production queue now. Happy days. Now, once the submarine ends on April 6th, I am tempted or minded to do a bit of an upgrade for... or build some more destroyers, to be honest with you. I am tempted by that. Just a little production run, just to keep the efficiency there. We could also think about starting to build some fighters. That might work as well. I don't need to export any manganese at the moment. I think we can safely ignore that. And yeah, put a bit more into here. Now, when is the monumental architecture one going to finish up? So, monumental architecture. So you're going to be done on the 30th of June. So not that far into the future. Okay. And we're now running negative on our resources on that front. So I'm somewhat tempted to cancel a few of these. So who do we have good and bad relations with? So Norway, we've got a good relationship with you, so I don't necessarily... What's the badly performing out of these? So to Norway we're doing 4.44, we've got 5.5. 14 to Sweden, getting 18 out of you, so that's pretty good. Romania, that's a pretty equal one, we can probably cancel that. Free Guangxi, I don't need to be doing it with you. Can take Yuan out. So Australia will be happy with us. Abyssinia, would imagine that you're not going to be trading at any level for much longer. Let's finish up that. And a little bit out of Mexico. Yeah, that should take us back green. Good. And then there's Sunfish. Now let's have a little look at what we need navy-wise. So we need one more coastal submarine. We could do with another 2 torpedo boats just to make them a nice round 4. We need some transport ships as well. So let's build up a coastal submarine just to finish the set. Let's build 2 torpedo boats. And let's build, if we can't already, but I imagine we can yet, 3 passenger ships. So we're not breaking the bank there for any of that. That's all okay. And then I would quite like... So we've got some light cruisers currently in the production queue, so we don't need to put anything more on that front for now. Let's build up some air wings. Let's get ourselves some interceptors. Let's get 3 of them, and let's build a parallel run over the next 18 months. They're only 9 IC, they're not exactly very expensive. And then we'll also build up some destroyers, and we'll get a set of 6. They'll take 13 months as well. We'll do a like double grouping of those. And that won't be breaking the bank either. We've got a little bit going into upgrades at the moment, which we can just ignore. Just let that go. Okay, so radios. 38. AFV tracks and suspension, sure. Don't need to do any of those. High density alloys, though, we will do. And yeah, we've got a little bit going. So we're doing about 88% at the moment. That's okay. And we're just waiting on those joyous IC to finish. So we're nearly at 30% of there. That's good. Okay, so we're currently lacking on all of these. I'm very intrigued, really, to know how much do I need to shift the balance by. So for energy, who's got a good surplus of metal at the moment? So Germany, United States, and the Soviet Union. Germany's also got a very good supply of energy. So we've got a relationship of 9 with them. The USA have 80. Yeah, ideally I would like to try and... Yeah, so... You haven't got a great surplus, do you? Norway? 41? 55? Yeah, okay. Let's do a trade with them. Okay, they don't want to trade. United States! Okay, so the United States will give us our energy. Will you do a metal trade? No, you won't. Okay. Yeah, let's do that with you. And then the Soviets. Let's get ourselves a metal trade going with you, just to fix both of these problems. Okay, I'm glad they rose up in Fiji, because that's a place where we can fix things. And, yeah, you're nearly there to fix that. You're heading over there. Who's quicker? Looks like this group is much quicker. And yeah, we are dealing with the great industrial action of the world. So yeah, not losing any resources there with that. Okay, there's garrison redeployment capability. That's a basic tech that's always required. And we're into prototypes. Okay, so a lot of those are 37. This one isn't, so we can do that one tech. There's a couple here. There are some submarine techs we'll want to get up to speed. If there's one thing the Dutch campaign has taught me, an effective submarine fleet is pretty useful. They can single-handedly ruin Japan, and I'm tempted to do that again. Like, literally from day dot. You know, it doesn't take a lot of management. And, yeah, I'll always do a fuel trade to make a little bit of money, sure. I'm almost wondering if we just want to take away all of the rares trades now. Because we can switch over to exporting oil. And it will harm our income a little bit, but yeah, we're still making 140 a day. That is really sizable. And yeah, I don't want to export anything else. So, no, I don't want to export chromite. Thank you. And, oh, you're a bloody bastard. All the way over there. You bloody bugger. What a fucker. Now, here's a question. Are you quicker than, like, anything else? No, not really. Okay. How about you? Are you quick? 4? 4? Okay, well, we'll send you. You'll get over there in the next 100 years. Right, CAG bomber. Yep, let's get double hangar. Small arms is at 38. Let's get the safety procedures. Nice. I've got to say, the new UI stuff is great. Like, for example, air systems, you click it, it spins. Avionics, it clicks. I love it. Like, I wish all the icons did that. Like, they're so fun. But I really like all the icons. They're fun. Little things like that I greatly enjoy. Okay, so heatwave. So we did lose a little bit of IC efficiency. That's okay. 7% still good. Let's do the So this is the fun thing, right? I can either take this one and only lose 2,500 supplies. Just the air bases, though, would give me -5. So I'm going to do this and, like, do the reorganization. Another step of electronics progress. And, yeah, losing a little bit there. Okay. Nice, slim production queue. Just the way I like it. As always. And a few things are finishing up on the upgrades front. Like, not a lot, but it is getting slightly smaller. Karachi. Yeah, just finished that off. And, yeah, I think Palestine's never going to build anything. I say that, but Kuwait did build things. So, you know, maybe they will get going, but they don't have any IC as far as I'm aware. So, I doubt it. But, hey. I almost want to just delete you. Like, is there any point keeping you there? Possibly. You can be the Lords of Georgetown. Right, export rubber. Not at the moment. And, yeah, I don't want to do any rares trades. I'm sorry. I want to build up now my rare position. Right, so, yeah. Nice additional supplies and all of those. Double hangar, 4 engine. Let's do the armament techs that we can do. And then we can have a little look at bomb load. Let's get 500 kilogram bomb. And, okay. Things are looking up. And air systems, anything here? Oh, controllable propeller pitch. Should really have that. That's a requirement. And I'll kill it. And yeah, 37. Okay, finished up. Nothing on avionics. So into submarines. So AA development 1918. Let's improve that. Okay, we've got 5 there. And I would imagine, how many spies have we got? 100. Yeah, okay. So, spies-wise, let's do a few fun things there. So, we're going to go on to intelligence. Let's have a look at the Axis. Let's start with Germany. And let's do increase threat. Then for Italy, let's have a look at Europe. Let's find Italy. And let's increase threat on you. And then Japan. Similarly, let's go to... is it going to be under? It's not under Oceania. Oh God, I'm so thick. Right, Asia, Japan. There we go. Fun little increased threat. Defensive position designs. So 1924 for the sonar. Let's do that. Okay, and yep, still a nice little green position on all of these. And there goes Abyssinia. So that was a decent fight. Gotta say, they did well. Let's do standard infantry branch upgrade. That might be a fun campaign at some point. Taking on Ethiopia and trying to hold out against the Italians. Like, I do feel like that's possible. Like, with the right organizational setup, I kind of feel like you could do that. It'd be tough, definitely. But there might be a way you can organize your army to get that to work, to be honest with you. I don't know what kind of benefits Ethiopia gets as well. I'm sure the game probably gives you some bonuses and things for dealing with stuff. Okay, and another fighter's come out. That's good. And we've got the option to do war games. Yeah, we will take that. So we'll lose money supplies, but we'll gain some ruling party support. And okay, medicine. Good. So, onto more submarine tech. So, let's do the batteries. And we can get torpedo tubes. Like, all that is good. Industry advance. Can let that roll, because it's at 34. And I kind of wish the upgrades were finishing up. Like, what are we even upgrading? Okay, like camouflage, infantry, radio commitment, like communication equipment, sure. Don't need to do that at the moment because we're still making shed tons of money. Oh, and there's our tattered remains. Perfect. And hey, would you look at that? Communist China. That's not too bad at all. They've captured Xi'an. Moving towards Ankang. That's you know, they're doing fairly decent. Okay, hangar. Okay, so the hangar's at 38. Let's get, yeah, periscope going. There's a lot of submarine techs that we've got to catch up on. It's interesting because Britain did have a fairly large submarine fleet in World War II. It was one of the kind of key things behind decision making at the time. But they often tried this like fleet submarine idea, which it wasn't great. I think it's the long and short of it. It was a pretty bad idea. Okay, so a little bit there. Okay, and the Abyssodada massacre. God, words are hard sometimes. Okay, and so we've got one steel refinery that'll nearly be due out soon. Well, trading a little bit for them, but we've removed that deficit, which is good. You're running positive. I mean, we're running positive across the board, so economy looking good. Strong and stable government for the people of Britain. Led by Ramsay MacDonald, who is an ambitious union boss who is a member of the Conservative Party. Those two things don't normally go together. However, in today's great age, it's required of us that we put aside our petty political differences for the greatness of Britain. Sorry, that was my own. I felt the channeling there of Ramsay MacDonald's an interesting individual. He actually started in the Labour Party and then like kind of joined. Was it the Liberals that he joined before joining the Conservatives? He played the field, is what I'm trying to say politically. He was a man of the field. So no. And hey, look, if the Saudis want to buy oil from Britain, I'm not going to say no to that. What kind of reverse world is this? Range finding equipment, 35, okay. Monumental, okay, and some text there to end out on. So, yeah, we're now doing a full suite of those. Got a few to do on here. Love it. And I think we're going to call it an episode here. So thank you very much for watching, everyone. Really enjoying this so far. I love playing the UK. Favourite nation to play. And I get to channel some bad English accents. So thank you very much for watching. I look forward to seeing the next episode of Hearts of Iron 3 and the UK campaign. Thanks again. Bye-bye.